आप म्यूट हो।
हेलो, आ रही है आवाज?
आ रही है शालिनी मैम। गुड आफ्टरनून, कैसे हैं?
गुड इवनिंग, सब बढ़िया। आप कैसे हैं?
बहुत
शालिनी
बढ़िया
मैम, वेरी गुड इवनिंग।
वेरी गुड इवनिंग जी।
अभी देखो ब्लॉग सही
शालिनी
बन
मैम,
गए।
शालिनी मैम क्या हाल है?
शालिनी
बहुत
जी आज
बढ़िया
के
तन्मय जी,
प्रोग्राम
आप
के
सुनाओ।
बढ़िया बढ़िया।
प्रोग्राम डायरेक्टर
स्टार्ट
है,
करें
बिल्कुल सेंटर में
शालिनी
आ
जी।
चुके हैं।
Yes, sir. We are live on YouTube, sir. Kindly start, sir.
चेयरमैन सर स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं।
डन। ठीक है, हमारे आज के प्रोग्राम मॉडरेटर यश गुप्ता जी हैं।
Yes,
यश
sir.
भाई, यश।
Yeah. Start.
यश भाई, प्लीज स्टार्ट द प्रोग्राम।
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I wish you all a blessed and joyful Mahaashtami. May Ma Durga strength inspire us all on this auspicious day. I, C.A. Yash Gupta, extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to each of you to the inaugural session of the Tech Deck webinar series, where we dwell into the exciting world of blockchain and AI technology and accounting, exploring the vast opportunities and navigating the challenges they present. As we all know, AI is reshaping accounting and taxation by automating routine tasks like data entry and invoice processing, providing advanced data analysis for insights and fraud detection, aiding in tax compliance and optimization, and enhancing client services with chatbots and virtual assistants. This technology streamlines operations, reduces cost, improves accuracy, allowing stakeholders to focus on strategic decision making and value added activities. Embracing AI offers a competitive edge and ensures compliance with evolving regulations. I would like to thank NIRC for providing me this opportunity to moderate this seminar. Today we have with us C. Abhinav Agarwal ji, Chairman NIRC of ICAI, C. Navya Malhotra ji, Secretary NIRC of ICAI, Shalini Gupta ji, Vice Chairperson NIRC of ICAI, C. Dinesh Sharma ji, Member NIRC, C. Sangam Agarwal ji, Member NIRC, Nitesh Malhotra ji, Chairman Amritsar Branch, and C. Rajnikant Patel ji as our guest speaker for the webinar. We welcome you all. Now I request C. Nitesh Malhotra ji to deliver his welcome address.
Thank you, Yash bhai.
Thank you.
Respected C. Abhinav Agarwal ji, Chairman NIRC. C. Shalini Gupta ma'am, Vice Chairperson NIRC. C. Navya Malhotra, Secretary of the NIRC. C. Jagjit Singh Jaggs, Nikasa Chairperson. C. Dinesh Sharma, Member NIRC. C. Sangam Kumar Agarwal, Member NIRC. And the Regional Council members, Speaker of the Day, C. Rajnikant Patel. C. Yash Gupta, Program Moderator, my fellow colleagues, members, and students. A very good evening. As we gather here today for our webinar on synergies between blockchain and AI technology in the field of accounting, it is my privilege to delve deeper into the significance of this convergence. Blockchain, with its immutable ledger technology, promises enhanced transparency and security, revolutionizing how financial transactions are recorded and verified. Coupled with the power of AI, which can analyze vast amounts of data with unprecedented speed and accuracy, we have a formidable combination that has the potential to transform the accounting profession. By leveraging the blockchain, we can ensure the integrity of financial records, reduce the risk of fraud, and streamline the auditing process. Additionally, AI-powered analytics can uncover valuable insights from this wealth of data, enabling more informed decision-making and strategic planning. However, along with these opportunities come challenges such as regulatory compliance, data privacy concerns, and the need for upskilling and reskilling the workforce to harness the full potential of these technologies. Throughout this webinar, we will explore these opportunities and challenges in depth, drawing on insights from the experts in the field and real-world case studies. Together, we will navigate the evolving landscape of accounting in the digital age and uncover strategies to thrive in this dynamic environment. Thank you for embarking on this journey with us, and I look forward to enlightening discussions ahead. Thank you, Yash bhai. Over to you.
Next, I welcome C. Dinesh Gupta ji, member NIRC, to share his thoughts.
भाई एक बात तो शुक्रिया यश, तूने मेरे को गुप्ता बना दिया, मेरा बड़ा
Oh,
काम
sorry,
बड़ा
Dinesh
आसान हो
Sharma
गया।
ji. Sorry.
नहीं, इट इज ओके। दिनेश शर्मा एंड गुप्ता मैं इकट्ठे चलाने वाला हूँ आगे। ये तो अभिनव भाई ने मेरे को सिखा दिया था, शर्मा गुप्ता इकट्ठे चलाइयो, और मैं सीख गया हूँ इस मामले को। ठीक है ना चेयरमैन साहब? like with the smiling
Right.
face is answering. And Chairman Saab, one more thing I want to appreciate that, द वे द टाइमिंग जिसको हम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट मान के चलते हैं। हमने एक दो दिन पहले ही प्रोग्राम किया था, तो आज भी आपने टाइम पे, एक दो मिनट तो नॉर्मल होते हैं, टाइम पे प्रोग्राम शुरू किया है, उसके लिए आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई हो। एंड यस ऑफ कोर्स, आज जैसे यश भाई ने भी बोला है, आज बहुत बड़ा दिन है, दुर्गा अष्टमी का दिन है, नवरात्रि की। तो आप सभी को नवरात्रि की, दुर्गा अष्टमी की बहुत बहुत बधाई हो। एज नितेश भाई साहब सेड, artificial intelligence, blockchain in accounting, opportunities and challenges. This is a feat that all the members have learned a lot. It is always whenever we are listening this topic, मैं ये कह सकता हूँ कि इस टॉपिक में जब भी बैठेंगे, हर बार कुछ ना कुछ हमें नया समझ आ रहा होता है। हर बार ऐसे लगता है कि हम इसको नए ढंग से, एक नई टेक्निक के हिसाब से आगे बढ़ेंगे अपने काम में। और आज की डेट में अगर हम बात करें, दिस इज नीड ऑफ द आवर। अगर हम इसके हिसाब से नहीं चलेंगे तो हम शायद सर्वाइव ही नहीं कर सकते। आई थिंक जो रजनीकांत जी, जो हमारे गेस्ट स्पीकर ऑफ द डे हैं, जो उसको हमें भली भांति इसके हमें परिचित करवाएंगे और ज्यादा। और ज्यादा समय मैं नहीं लूंगा, बिकॉज टाइम फ्रेम के हिसाब से हम चल रहे हैं। वंस अगेन फॉर दिस टॉपिक, सिलेक्टिंग दिस टॉपिक एंड गोइंग फॉर दिस प्रोग्राम, congratulations to my chairman and ARC. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Next, I request C.A. Sangam Agarwal ji to share his thoughts.
I just want to congratulate to Team NIRC for doing this kind of webinars, and it is the need of the time. We have much more deliberation on AI and blockchain. So my heartiest congratulations to Team NIRC and Chairman Abhinav Agarwal ji for doing this kind of programs. So I will not speak much. Over to you.
Next, I request C.A. Jagjit Singh ji, member NIRC, to share his views.
Thank you, Yash Gupta ji, the this program. And once again, definitely I will congratulate all my regional council member, the chairman Abhinav Agarwal ji, NIRC chairman Navya Malhotra ji, the secretary, of course, my the vice chairperson Shalini Gupta ji, my regional colleague Dinesh ji, Sangam ji, and of course the today's speaker Rajnikant Patel ji. Also, we are basically, this topic is very much, and of course, Nitesh Malhotra ji, the chairman of Amritsar. And I would say this topic is very, very important, when we talk about the artificial intelligence, when we talk about this blockchain, these are the new areas actually. So that is why today we have invited Rajnikant sir. So definitely he will speak on this topic, and we are looking forward for the benefit from his knowledge, from his experience. Thank you. Over to you, Yash Gupta ji.
Thank you, sir. Next, I welcome Shalini ma'am, Vice Chairperson, NIRC, to share her thoughts with us.
Very good evening, and Chairman NIRC Abhinav Agarwal ji, Secretary Navya Malhotra ji, Nikasa Chairman Jagjit ji, my regional council colleagues Dinesh ji, Sangam ji, and of course Nitesh ji, Chairman Amritsar branch, and today's speaker Rajnikant ji, and moderator Yash ji, and all my audience, very good evening. And actually we have a series of webinar or programs, and I really appreciate me also, and my team also, and my chairman also, that we have come up with number of programs, not only physical programs but also the webinar series on different topics, so that all the members who are not able to join physically, they can enhance their knowledge at least online. And the new initiative that we have tried, joining the members from the branches, that as we have today Nitesh ji from Amritsar branch is chairman. So obviously this will bridge the gap, if any, there is between the branches and the NIRC, and involving them in our initiatives. It's a very good start. And obviously the topic today, I think it's the what we can say, it's the need of the hour. Every chartered accountant, I think we are really lacking in this topic. We have very good knowledge on our subjects, whatever it is, whether it is income tax or GST or banking, everything we have learned a lot. बट वो जिसको कहते हैं ना हिंदी में कि हमारा हाथ इसमें थोड़ा सा तंग है, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस में, इस टेक्नोलॉजी में। मतलब मुझे तो ऐसे लगता है कि मोस्टली जितने चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स को मैं मिलती हूँ या बात करती हूँ या ऑफिसेज में, तो कहीं ना कहीं इस टॉपिक में बहुत सारी नॉलेज गेन करने की और बहुत सारे एक्सपीरियंस की हाउ वी कैन यूज टेक्नोलॉजी टू एनहांस आवर abilities, to enhance our performance. So very apt topic that we have chosen today, and Nitesh ji has already explained in detail what we learned today, and we are waiting Rajnikant ji, and I am sure after your deliberation, after your lecture, we'll learn a lot, and कहीं जो हमारा गैप है उस टेक्नोलॉजी में और हमारा वो जरूर कम होगा. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, I request C. Navya Malhotra ji, Secretary NIRC, to provide his perspective and share his thoughts.
A very, very good evening to all of you and to all the members, panelists who have joined. A sincere thanks to all of you and to the leadership of Abhinav Agarwal ji, Chairman NIRC, who is constantly thriving and striving and leaving no stone unturned to make this regional council set new milestones for all of us. I think vision, we are also trying to keep you equipped with more of the series that already has been started or yet to start. मैं देख पा रहा हूँ कि चेयरमैन के आसपास दोनों तरफ 4 सीरीज इधर हैं और 4 सीरीज इधर हैं. तो जैसे हमने देखा 4 सीरीज इधर हैं और 4 इधर हैं, तो कुछ स्टार्ट हो चुकी हैं और कुछ बाकी हैं स्टार्ट होने के लिए. और मुझे लगता नहीं कि हम कुछ और ऐसा करने जा रहे हैं जो जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन ये ऐसी चीज है जो जरूरत के साथ हमारे को आगे इतना इक्विप कर देगी. क्योंकि दिस era of technology is the era where 10 years of development is equal to 100 years of development. And I am sincerely thankful to Shalini ji, who has taken the lead to take the today's session. My vice chairman Shalini ji, and I should say Jagjit ji, who is constantly putting all the efforts for students, Dinesh ji, Sangam ji, and I should say जब हम स्पीकर की खोज कर रहे थे तो स्पीकर का नाम निकल के आया रजनीकांत जी, तो हमें लगा कि ये रजनीकांत होंगे टेक्नोलॉजी के. So thank you, Rajnikant ji. I hope your session will be a memorable session. Yash, congratulations on all the best. I'm handing over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I request C. Abhinav Agarwal ji, Chairman NIRC, to share his insights with us.
Very good evening to all of you, all the regional council members, my branch chairman Nitesh from Amritsar, respected speaker of the session, dear esteemed members. I welcome all of you in our this third program in the line of online webinar series and first program under the heading of Tech Deck. So this is the, as everyone says, this is the need of the hour. और जो ये टेक्नोलॉजी रिलेटेड प्रोग्राम है, आप अगर अपने रूटीन लाइफ में भी देखेंगे, और जो नव्या जी ने कहा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात, कि ये जो 10 साल की डेवलपमेंट है, ये अगले पिछले 100 सालों में नहीं होगा और अगले 100 सालों तक इसको याद रखा जाएगा. इनमें से एक है ब्लॉकचेन और एआई. आप अगर नोटिस कर रहे होंगे अपनी लाइफ में भी, पिछले जो मैं 3-4 साल से देख रहा हूँ, कि अगर हम फेसबुक पे कोई एक चीज डालते हैं, लेट सपोज हमें कहीं फॉरेन टूर पे जाना है, तो आप देखने लगोगे कि आपके फेसबुक पे रेगुलर बेसिस पे एड्स आनी स्टार्ट हो जाती है. डिफरेंट जो ऑपरेटर्स होते हैं, टूर ऑपरेटर्स, उनकी एड आनी स्टार्ट हो जाती हैं, और आपको हर जगह ना एडवर्टाइजमेंट स्टार्ट हो जाती है. ये एआई टेक्नोलॉजी है, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस. आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के रिलेटेड जो मैं समझ पाता हूँ, उसका मतलब ये है कि वी ट्रेन द सॉफ्टवेयर और वी ट्रेन द कंप्यूटर्स, वी ट्रेन द हार्डवेयर लाइक दैट वे कि इट स्टार्ट्स वर्किंग लाइक ह्यूमन ब्रेन. कि हम उसमें इस तरीके से सेटिंग करते हैं, इस तरीके से उसकी टेक्नोलॉजी को अपग्रेड करते हैं कि वो एक आर्टिफिशियली ऑपरेट करने लग जाते हैं लाइक अ ह्यूमन ब्रेन. कि आप कुछ भी सोचेंगे, इवन तक कि मेरे तो और कलीग्स से बात होती है तो वो ये भी कह रहे थे कि अगर हम, हमारा जो फोन है वो साइलेंटली भी इतना ऑपरेट करता है कि अगर हम फोन खाली बंद भी रखा हुआ है और हम किसी टॉपिक पे बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, तो वो चीजें हमें यूट्यूब पे और सोशल मीडिया पे वो शेयर होने लग जाती हैं, ताकि हमारे बैक ऑफ द माइंड में वो रिफ्लेक्ट करती रहे. तो ये सारी चीजें एक आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस है. ब्लॉकचेन आपने पिछले कुछ 5-1 सालों में सुना होगा कि क्रिप्टो करेंसी के आने के बाद ब्लॉकचेन में बहुत ज्यादा एक डेवलपमेंट आ गई थी. और ब्लॉकचेन एक, जस्ट आप ये कह सकते हो, स्प्रेड ऑफ पीपल्स है, कि एक जाल है. मतलब कि आपने कोई चीज कहीं से स्टार्ट करी, उसका एंड यूज हर जगह से सिस्टम ऑपरेटिव होके और एक चेन में काम करना. ब्लॉकचेन मींस कि क्रिएटिंग अ नंबर ऑफ चेन्स सो दैट वी डेफिनेटली इजी अवर टास्क और इजी अवर वर्क. सो ये एक टॉपिक ऐसा नहीं है कि हम 1 घंटे में समझ सकते हैं, 1 घंटे में हमारा खत्म हो सकता है, लेकिन एक स्टार्ट है कि हम लोग डिफरेंट वैरायटीज. अब हमने इसको अकाउंटिंग से रिलेटेड कि हाउ एआई यूज इन अवर अकाउंटिंग प्रोफेशनल्स, तो अभी तक हम इसमें काम नहीं कर पा रहे. कि जस्ट मैं अगर एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल लेता हूँ कि एआई इस तरीके से वर्क करेगा कि अगर हमारे पास इनवॉइस आ गया तो इनवॉइस की एंट्री ऑटोमेटिकली पंच हो जाएगी, रिटर्न तक उसकी प्रिपेयर हो जाएगी। तो वो एक आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस है। जस्ट ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ इनवॉइस वी आर गेटिंग अ डायरेक्ट रिपोर्ट्स और डायरेक्ट रिटर्न्स और डायरेक्ट पेमेंट्स हो जाएंगी। तो आप बहुत सारी चीजें जो रूटीन लाइफ में हमें पता नहीं है टेक्नोलॉजी रिलेटेड, जैसे कि आप बैंक स्टेटमेंट भी देखेंगे कि आजकल बैंकों ने एआई के यूजेस से आप खाली वहां से स्टेटमेंट आपको सीधा डाटा क्रेडिटर तक आपके लेजर तक में इंटीग्रेट हो जाती है और आपके डाटा क्रेडिटर सेटल हो जाते हैं कि पेमेंट किस पार्टी की है, और ये सारा एआई टेक्नोलॉजी है। तो अभी मैं डिफरेंट प्रोग्राम्स में हम प्लान भी कर रहे हैं अपनी टीम के साथ में, जिसमें हम सॉफ्टवेयर वालों को भी लेके आएंगे जो कि आपको एक्चुअल यूजर बैंक्स के साथ भी टाई अप कराएंगे कि वो कैसे इंटीग्रेट कर रहे हैं, कैसे हम इसका टेक्नोलॉजी का मैक्सिमम बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं। ये हमारी अभी थर्ड सीरीज है, थर्ड इन अंडर द हेडिंग टेक डेक, और अभी सीरीज का फर्स्ट पार्ट है ये आज। अभी इसके बाद वैसे जैसे नव्या जी ने बताया हमारी 7 सीरीज है टोटल। नेक्स्ट सीरीज हमारी 17 को स्टार्ट हो रही है, 17, 18, 19 जो है बूट कैम्प ऑन इंटरनेशनल टैक्स एस्पेक्ट्स। तो हमने पूरे मंथ को डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सीरीज में डिवाइड कर रखा है। आप हमारे साथ ट्यूनिंग रहे और हमारे साथ डिफरेंट डिफरेंट प्रोग्राम्स के अपडेट हम आपको मेल पे भी भेज रहे हैं, इवन ऑन ब्रॉडकास्ट और व्हाट्सएप चैनल, हर तरीके से हम चीजें शेयर कर रहे हैं। तो जो भी और आपको ऐसा कुछ इनपुट लगता है जिस टॉपिक पे हम काम कर सकते हैं, बता सकते हैं, आप हमें अपना इनपुट दे सकते हैं। और जैसे कि स्टार्टिंग है, अभी बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम्स करने हैं, पूरा ईयर है, तो आप लोगों की कनेक्टिविटी और आप लोगों के सजेशंस हमें और अच्छे प्रोग्राम्स करने में मोटिवेट करेंगे। एंड आई रिक्वेस्ट माय टुडे स्पीकर सी रजनीकांत जी कि वो हमें, टाइम कम है, इनके पास 1.5 घंटे का टाइम होगा, लेकिन इसमें जो भी आप, हम सारे प्रोफेशनल्स को अपॉर्चुनिटीज के बारे में ज्यादा इसमें जितना भी गाइड कर सकते हैं कि अगर हम प्रैक्टिस में भी इसमें कितना बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं, तो प्लीज उस सेशन पे आप ज्यादा फोकस कीजिएगा। थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir, for your kind word. Before I pass the mic to C. Rajnikant, sir, allow me to provide a brief introduction of sir. Sir is a renowned chartered accountant and company secretary with extensive expertise in the field of artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, and data labeling. He has advised multiple domestic and global clients in business transformation and helping them in achieving their financial goals. He holds multiple certifications in the field of blockchain, fraud detection, and system audit. Now, without any further delay, let's welcome CA Rajnikant sir to share his valuable insights with us. Sir, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to all this session, and let me share my screen. So it's visible now. Just confirm. Okay, visible.
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Yes.
Yes. So, yes, it's difficult to cover in this 1.5 hour the whole topic of big tech of AI and blockchain. Might be it's yes, 10 year in the 100 year that we are covering in terms of technology transformation for the all operations of the business, not only finance and account, but the all operations of the business. So start with, so will not take much time, and just the agenda: automation and AI, introduction to AI, type of AI tech, automating the repetitive tasks, AI opportunity, and blockchain, that we'll discuss more about. To start with, the automation and the AI. So automation refers to the mapping of the source record for a processing a transaction to get output. So that is called automation. So there is a difference between AI and automation. So automation is referring to the simple plain vanilla language.
इसी का एजेंडा है।
AI refers to the using that data in a different variable to predict the output and to get some insight, which will be used in the simple different ways. So this is the simple definition of the automation and the AI. AI has a different terminology. So AI is a big word. Just let's say we are the world and we're different countries. So IoT, cloud computing, blockchains, data analytics, all are form part of the AI. Virtual assistants or a chatbot, all will be part of the AI. So what is AI? Machine learning is also AI, deep learning is also AI, natural language processing is also AI. robotic processing or robotic any action is also AI. Computer vision that we call as the image processing or a video processing, that is called AI. Then expert system. The ultimate is the expert system with a combination of all the aspects of the tech. That is all considered as a AI. So we generally in a present environment in a what way hardly 1%, 5%, 10%, or might be 100% also, we are facing the AI applications in a day in, day out. So to start with, we have the intelligence, but as a chartered accountant, we have the intelligence. Just we need to put the artificial. So it becomes the AI. So our brain is very intelligent. We don't have to think over it. Just we need to adopt the artificial. What is the terminology in terms of and how we can go ahead. To go ahead is a first task is automating the repetitive task. So for any action in terms of digitization or a AI or a blockchain, first task is you have to automate the repetitive task, which will ideally, yes, as a cost benefit, reduce our cost and also increase the accuracy and the reporting timelines also. So which are the tasks that we should consider as a repetitive? So source data capturing. So source data capturing can be done on the right hand side. I put it the different application that can be used for all the repetitive tasks. In a practical scenario, if we go, then might be certain will be used or certain might not be useful in terms of nature of the transaction. So let's say for a attendance recording, we'll go for the biometric. For any transactional related, we'll go for the IoT, or for any temperature reading, we'll go for IoT, or for any OCR transaction in terms of invoice processing, we go for the OCR. So this way we can use the different technology for recording the transaction, which is we called as a repetitive task. So transaction categorization, then transaction processing for calculating the certain transactions in the simple way of arithmetic calculations, where we might will not use the AI presently. Then reconciliation, report generation, and financial reporting. So first task of any enterprise as an auditor also, we should advise on the automating the repetitive task. That is the first category. Then we come to the AI opportunity in accounting. So the main opportunity that is coming to us is in terms of for the finance and account. If we go through, then it's on the AI of accounting. So generally, as an auditor or as a consultant or is in any position of the industry also, first task is validating the reconciliation of the transaction. So as an accountant, as an accounting function, first is a validation and reconciliation, then interpretation, then entry level barrier. So we'll understand more in each of the aspects in the following slides. The red flags for a suspicious transaction, then establishing the effective controls, then accurate and timely reporting of the compliances. So first is a validation and reconciliation. So if you want to consider one transaction as a valid transaction, first you have to validate that and reconcile with the corresponding records or corresponding information or the data available in your ERP systems or that. So once you have done the digitization of all repetitive transactions, then you comes to the validating or reconciliation of the transaction with the machine learning, either optical character recognitions or robotic process or natural language processing. So these are the different technologies that we can use. Now here the challenge is the authentication of whatever the data we use. So apart from the legal aspects, that is presently there is no law governing in the AI. Yes, it will come in the future. So but presently the language or the data that we are using is actual or not. So all depends on the data. So as we hear every now and then, the data is a new oil. Yes, data is a new oil, but if it is authenticated, if it's structured, and if it is used in the correct manner. So for the validating and reconciliations of any transactions, we need a correct data. So challenges is the correct data. And then system can be implemented and it can be used for the future transaction. so that none of the invalidated transactions or any malpractices can be controlled. Then it comes to the once data is validated. So if it is a natural data, then data provides a very different insights. So there are different tools that we can use for the data interpretation, that is Power BI, data analytics, and in a further, if we use as a customized data analytic tools, then on a receptive diagnostic and predictive approach, we can go for the various outputs from that data, and it will be provide the business opportunities and the further aspects also. Next comes to the entry level barrier. So if you want to block someone, so AI can help you to identify that person with which we call as a KYC. So address, phone number, email ID, name, or whatever the signature, Aadhaar card, or any other thing we can use with the technology usage of the AI with the different sub technologies to identify the transaction. If it is not passing through, then we can block it. So there is an entry level barrier, or for a master data management. For a today, any large enterprises is all governed by the master data. Either it is customer, vendor, creditor, inventory, or the any user's data in terms of employees also, or their access rights also. If the master data is perfect, then everything is going in terms of control environment. We cannot say as a going good, but it's a control environment. Next is a red flag. So if you use a AI, then it can provide you the anomaly detection preventive mechanism. So if any suspicious transaction there, the variables are not matching, then it's a red flag. It provides a red flag in terms of variables matching, in terms of it is not a natural occurring numbers. Then it provides a red flags. So that we can use for any transaction assessment when we provide the various usage in terms of accounting transactions and their interpretations also. Next is opportunity in accurate timely reporting. So when all accounting is done, then our task is accurate and timely reporting to the data. So for any transaction to be reported in a different way, we need to accumulate the all factual transactions to the one system, then formulate a report and submit a report. So AI helps in the accumulating the all data. Let's say the financial or non-financial data that can be that can be stored in the ERP system in a different way with the use of the IoT or RPA or any other devices which we use in terms of capturing the data. And then the task of the AI will come in terms of formulating the report and structuring the report for the submission to the any authority or any party. Then comes to the business intelligence. If that report has some red flags, some as a predictive analysis that we come, or some advanced analytics that can provide, that these are the outputs of the data and you should take care before submitting that data. So that is also possible in terms of use of the AI when we generate a report that can do the interpretation in terms of human intelligence.
Finding out about all of the things on the Power Platform.
This is the video. I just pause for 1 second. So where AI in accounting that has been implemented and there's a Microsoft video. So where different process of the transaction can be how we can use the AI in terms of implementing the system that is presented here.
Finding out about all of the things on the Power Platform has been amazing. This is technology that I didn't even know existed. I'm Ashley Francis. I am a CPA with a practice in Seattle. My practice is focused on ultra high net worth individuals, their family groups, their family partnerships, and trusts and estates. I have some friends from social media that use other automation platforms and other platforms where they make databases and things like that, but they're third-party platforms, and I don't really trust third-party platforms with my client data because it's like my clients are so private, they're so big, I wouldn't put any financial data on there. And the alternative that came up, especially in the automation space, was power auditing. I had a project where I had 3 years of investment bank statements with a lot of trading activity that I had to take the information from that and put it into fiduciary accounting software. And there weren't any way to just extract the data simply. So I trained AI Builder on the format of the investment statement. And then I built a flow that incorporated the AI Builder training model in. So when a document was put into a specific folder, it would go through the training model and extract the data in a specific way and then put it into Excel for me. And so AI Builder honestly was the easiest part of this. I was able to extract like 800 lines of information and just dragging and dropping the documents into a folder, which is incredible. I believe the Copilot has unlocked the ability for more people to use it. Folks are going to start making these prompts for other people. Most people are going to be empowered to use the technology without having to know exactly expressions or actions or anything like that. They're going to be able to be successful in making flows. If I'm able to learn Power Automate and do cool stuff with it, pretty much anybody else will be able to. There is so much information out there. My message to CPAs and accountants is that it's just unfamiliar software, but not impossible to learn. There are so many resources out there that will take you along the path to learning. It will make your life so much easier. And I would just pick one to start with. Get really familiar with it and then.
So I just want to ask the audience one question. So can you put it in the chat that how you are using the AI in terms of presently wherever the operations you are doing? So are you using any system on the AI for any type of accounting? Just can you put it on the chat box? Or you can also consider as your client's use of the system is your usage. For the accounting, specific on the accounting, then we are coming to the different aspects of the our auditing process and the financial reporting, data analytics, and the other aspects also. So majority, I'm seeing that majorities are on no's. So yes, we need to work on the more on the first axis of accounting. So if the accounting is perfect, accounting is accurate. So the created data, accounting creates a data for a finance and the other reporting aspects. So if the data is perfect, then all the reporting will be valuable for the any small aspects of the technology. If you are using for the next processes, then it will help in terms of value-added decision-making process. So next is if your accounting is perfect, your accounting has some technologies or usage which increase the accuracy and the reporting timeline of the enterprise, then comes in the RegTech. For the all regulatory technology, AI and ML refers to the various streamlining the process so that it can be automated in terms of accuracy of compliances and the timely reporting of the compliances. What it helps in terms of? So RegTech helps in terms of reducing the compliance cost. So generally we refer in terms of the large enterprises that they have the voluminous of transaction, so that they cannot able to handle the regulatory timeline. And with the use of the technology only, there is one alternative they have: use of the technology to handle the large volume of data, complexity of data complexity of the business and the operations also. And the most important is the human resource. So I want to ask all the audience one question, that are you facing any challenge from the change of employee in your organization? You can put it yes in the chat box. As I'm seeing some of the are also putting yes, and that is the biggest cost apart from any cost. You have to hire a new person, then train him, and then at a certain point of time, after let's say 6 months or 12 months maximum, he will go away for the better opportunity. We cannot say anything on the employee also, but for a growth opportunity, he can leave the organization, either as an auditor organization or the enterprise organization. But if you are using the AI, then at least some of the intelligence is run by the application, which will ease out the transformation to the new employee. It will have the established system and the process, and it has a different controls also. So if any anomalies or any lapses on the new employee, then system can easily detect that. In terms of, first we want to address in terms of regulatory compliances. Then we'll come to the different part of reporting and the fraud detections and that. But the regulatory compliances, we cannot afford to miss it as a good governance of any enterprises, and faster response time to the regulatory changes. So if any act is changes and you have to implement across all locations, then yes, we need to implement the system. And with the use of the AI, it can easily transform the all changes into the all transactions. And also detection of certain transactions are not in compliance with the new changes also. So yes, next comes with the financial statement reporting, the biggest aspects of our task. So there is a big opportunity. So I want to ask one question to the audience, that are you preparing a financial statement in Excel? Say yes in the chat box if it is yes. Or if you are using any software, then you can also put it on the chat box that yes, I am using the particular software for that. So might be all we are using the Excel for a financial statement. And where the biggest use of the AI in terms of our function will be used in terms of assessing for the annual report, considering the data and information integration from the ERP and other tools. So first opportunity is a financial statement preparation. So all balance sheet statement, income statement, cash flow statement, and on notes can be prepared with the AI tools. And also in terms of financial numbers and the use of the generative AI, yes, thanks to the chat GPT. So they will come up with the draft text. You cannot say final text. Final text or we need to read line by line, word by word, letter by letter, and finalize before signing any financial statement and the audit report. But the system can assist us for annual report. The first financial statement, then notes, and further the bigger task of our audit documentation and the reporting. So I want to ask in terms of the audience who are in the practicing, are you preparing the audit documentation in any system or manual? If you are preparing in system, type in a chat box system. And if you are a manual, then type as a manual. So some of the hybrid, yes, thanks to who is using the hybrid also. And great to Ayushi Mishra, who is using the system for the audit documentation and respected reporting for us. But if we say as a majority of the person, we use a manual system for the audit documentation and reporting. Yes, every enterprise has a different system. It's difficult for us to integrate our system with them. In terms of someone is using SAP or someone using Microsoft Dynamics or Oracle or any other system, then it's difficult to integrate with our system, which is implemented for handling the audit documentation. But as a future, we need to have such a system to have the audit documentation and reporting in place. To the NAFRA reporting authority, we need to have the detailed documentation and on the auditing timelines also. It will also help in terms of director report. So Chairman Sir has rightly said, AI can help you to draft a director report and also other content and the part of the annual report. So that this way we can build a whole annual report in terms of with the use of the AI. And data comes from the our ERP system or any other system. And ultimately we need to check line by line and verify. So here we can provide the quality time as an auditor and as an enterprise to provide the quality output to the organization. Yes, and in case of the any listed enterprise, we need to prepare a financial statement in every quarter and every month. Then this system will help in terms of reducing the time and the repetitive tasks with the better accuracy and the better timeline matching also. Next is a financial planning and the analysis. So can anyone tell in terms of chat box that if you are using any software, just put it the name of the software for the financial planning and analysis. Planning and analysis refers to the use of the existing data and then put it on the system on any software for accurate forecast, and which almost match in terms of variables. We are not talking about budget, but yes, it's a somewhat the extensive use of the budget for forecasting the financials with the use of the variables. Yes, when you are using the software, using the Power BI for a flash report, yes, good thing to hear. So accurate financial forecast from the existing data. In the same use case, the AI can help for the accuracy. It is also can be used as such forecast for the valuation also. As AI will you prepare the forecast with the all matching variables in terms of cost, in terms of production capacity, or the variables and the fixed cost that the AI has learned from the history of what that enterprise has. So AI software, AI tools can be used for the financial forecast. Then in terms of if you have forecasted, then it's aspects of the control and monitoring for the effective performance. Every business has to monitor and has to control for the effective performance of the every business operations, every process. So ICFR, yes, we need to as a checks and balance, we need to assess the controls and effectiveness. And as a business, they have to check that whether we can use any system or any tools or any software to monitor and control for effective performance. Then it comes to the performer scenario analysis and identify the growth opportunity. The ultimately business want to transform to the future. Everyone want to transform to the future in terms of past history, then look for the future. So growth opportunity is where, whether it is in the particular product, particular segment, or a particular region, geography, then AI can help in terms of identifying the growth opportunities. We need to identify the various segments. So yes, Power BI is a visualization tool. It is not an AI tool. It's a visualization tool. But data comes from the ERP. And if that data comes from the ERP, you need to assess whether the data, what talks. You have to personally identify, manually identify these are the variables are good for identifying the growth or not. But with the use of AI, it will provide the insight in terms of different variables, whether it is employee and sales, whether it is region and sales, whether it is product and sales, whether it is GC margin, profit margin, contribution ratio. So all the aspects of the growth opportunities can be identified by the AI, and with this we can identify any enterprise growth and go forward for the particular business transactions also. Then comes to the predictive analysis. So growth opportunity comes to the predictive analysis, where we will go, what will be our decision making, what will take the decision X, then what will happen, and if you take a Y, then what is happened. So for the business expansion, there are multiple options for the business expansion. So either we outsource, we do the job work, or what will be the risk of making the additional factory or expanding the geography, what will be the risk, what will be the profit, what will be the scenario in terms of data. So with the use of the data, it will help in some predictive analysis for the business expansion. Next comes to the risk management. So if the business is there, then there is a risk is there. So every business has a risk. Might be the quantum of the risk or its severity will be different. But for the risk management, the AI can help in terms of identifying the risk and their variables in terms of magnitude of the risk. Then it will help in terms of fraud detection. So if we want to identify this transaction in terms of anomalies and further aspects, then fraud detection it will help. Then under the present scenario, the enhancing the customer engagement through chatbots and virtual assistants. So chatbot and virtual assistants will help in terms of engaging with the customer. So maybe you have heard any chatbot in terms of any format. Might be it's a WhatsApp, might be it's a chatbot or website chatbot or anything. It will help in terms of engaging the customer, so that it will help in terms of retaining the customer. Let's say some customer is coming to the one company, one website, and not coming to the second place for reordering. Then AI will help in terms of identifying the such customer, defining their characteristics in terms of what they are searching, what they are not searching, how much time they have spent for which product, which category, which segment, which geography. Then they will retarget that customer for engaging with them with the different promotion schemes also. Discount scheme, promotion scheme, one-time scheme, monsoon scheme, seasonal scheme, geographical scheme. So we also getting mail in terms of different sources that we are using in terms of yes, we got this offer, but the offer is made with the use of the data by any enterprises to engage with the customer, to bring them on the board again. So it will help in terms of very in terms of sales and marketing also. Then it comes to the advanced analytics tools play a crucial role in the finance. So when all things are there, we need to go in advanced stage. So first comes in the customer behavior. So presently, all the retail giants, whether it is a Walmart, whether it is a Reliance or Flipkart or any enterprise in the world, is going for a customer behavior. So customer behavior, they are identifying with the all IoT devices, all CCTV, all product images, all billings, that how the customer is shopping in the floor, and then identifying that customer behavior for the next sales strategy, product strategy, growth development strategy. So that is the crucial aspects in the present scenario, that how you will identify that behavior of the customer for your business. Then optimizing the pricing strategy for making the ultimate gross margin and the net margin higher. Market trends, how we can identify the market trends, but the AI will help in terms of early identifying the market trends, where the market is going. It is slow down or a particular geographies making performance or not. So static report generally refers in terms of analyzing the particular ratios, but AI will check in terms of every multiplications and combinations of the variables to identify which variables is performing highest in the specific region or the product or the categories also. So this way, the marketing initiative of the enterprise going better and better and day by day. Then their sales cost, ultimately selling cost is going down because their target achievement is highest. And ultimately what we have referred in terms of our risk, in terms of employee behavior. So where the manual intervention is there, so there is the highest risk. What do you believe? So can you put it on the chat box? It's a high when employee behavior. So what is the importance of employee behavior in terms of any risk assessment? So yes, many enterprises are having the risk from employee behavior. So employee behavior, yes, very different type. Yes, Rishika has put it that confidential information with competitive sharing. So sharing of information, employee state of mind, employee behavior in terms of their talking language, relationship with the colleagues also, any other aspects of that behavior tells everything. But as a human, we cannot remain present against every employee to identify that. So our intelligence is put in on the AI for identifying the such employee behavior and understanding that risk. So what is the risk from such employees? So it's a preventive mechanism under advanced analytics that will help in terms of identifying such employees and taking a corrective actions or a preventive actions with that employees. Now comes to our favorite part. So I want everyone to put it on the chat box that which system or any system you are using for the auditing. Any technical tool. I request all to put it on the chat box. Let's be interactive. It is more on the technical aspect. So I want to be on the more interaction so that at least we are not bored with the in terms of technical knowledge, because it's very high technical. Yes. So the auditing aspect, majority we use as a traditional tool for the auditing. But in going forward, we need to use that. Otherwise, yes, our panel has already identified that will be gone away with the system. Might be we not afford to do a practice also. So for that, today we need to start implementation, not thinking of any use of the technology. We need to use the AI tools. So I will come to the different part of the tools also. That tools are very different. We need to assess in terms of which are suitable for us. So auditing tasks, reviewing the financial records, identifying the risk area, testing the controls, sampling of the data, reporting the findings and audit trail. So various technologies are listed. So we'll discuss one by one in the following slides also. But yes, the review and the financial records. So financial records in terms of auditing review, we need to use the AI tools. We cannot, yes, now use the Excel pivot tables and many more for the larger enterprise. Yes, smaller enterprise, yes, for the cost benefit, yes, we need to assess also that we cannot use any costly tools for the smaller enterprises. But for the larger enterprises, there will be the time constraint for verifying the such or reviewing the such financial records. So OCR technology just uses the various methods to identify the records and the accuracy. That is called the cross-checking of the transaction with the various data, and the continuous control monitoring with AI. So various controls that established in the ERP system or any external tool which will help us in the reviewing the financial records. Next is coming to identifying the risk areas. So generally, as referred to the 4 steps or effective benchmarking the risk. So we need to identify the KPIs, then identify the competitors, measure and the track the performance. With this, we need to develop such a tool to identify the risk areas in the auditing system. So generally for our auditing, enterprise doesn't implement any software. That we need to take charge of the said function and implement the same in terms of our auditing process. And the risk area, once identified, it is very easy for us to focus on the such risk areas. So with the predictive analysis and the tools available in terms of Watson's also, or the I'm not referring any tool because as aspects of various tools usability, there is a limitation in terms of practical data sets and practical scenarios. So their present tools are very on the beginning stage, including the very recent tools also. Generative AI has a only specific on the text. Now it is coming to the image and the video, and they are on the beginning stage of the image and the video. Report findings. So for any report findings, you want to draft a report. Then natural language processing will help in terms of drafting the report also. And with the help of data visualization, it will give the better delivery and better satisfaction to the clients. So data visualization, we can use the Power BI or Tableau for the usage of the data and the visualization in the best possible way. And the natural language processing means the generative AI we can use for the reporting the findings. But yes, we need to read line by line, letter by letter, and word by word before finalizing the audit report in any fashion. And it requires our intelligence in terms of usage. Next comes to the latest aspects of the audit trail. So anyone is using any audit trail software for reviewing the audit trail? You can put it on the chat box. So yes, we need to first in the mind we can use in terms of Excel. There is no presently any tool available for the audit trail, but yes, we need to move forward in this direction with the beginning. If आज beginning है तो कल उसका success मिलेगा. So for all audit trail in the context of IT softwares also or any system, we need to review that audit trail, and with the use of the system, we can effectively do that. Otherwise, it's very difficult for our audit to review the audit trail because might be 90 or 95% are audit, the changes are genuine. And which are on the risk aspect, that is the risk identification in the audit trail. Then comes to the fraud detection or anomaly. So once all types of reporting, so all types of analysis, all types of use cases that we focus in terms of implementing the various tools. Then comes to the anomaly. Anomaly comes to the unusual transactions, outliers, fraudulent activities, error, and compliance violations. So with the use of the data, we need to train any AI tools to provide us output in terms of what's go wrong and what are the variables, what the behind the underlying assets or underlying numbers. So that anomaly detection algorithm or any fraud detection that will help us in the controlling the anomalies and taking the preventive actions. Unusual transactions are generally identified in terms of statistical data methods and the combination of the classification models. And with that model, it helps in terms of identifying the unusual transaction, and then it will reduces our time in terms of identifying such unusual transaction from the large data sets. So generally, the cost benefit comes in terms of large data sets when we talks about the AI. For us, minimum data sets, it's very costly for to implement any tools and the technology. Fraud detection and the machine learning helps in terms of integrating the behavior science and the transactions. So AI can, as an intelligence, read the human behavior and correlate with the existing data and the operations. So that will help in terms of fraud detection and anomalies across the all functions of the enterprise. So anyone is from the audience is for the fraud functions or fraud profession? If you can share any software or any AI software, purely talking about AI. Yes, so we need to use the AI for a fraud detection, and that will help in some more on the preventive. It's an ongoing process. So enterprise can take a preventive action in terms of such a behavior science. Then it comes to the compliance violation. Text data analytics in terms of generative AI and the efficiency and the rule-based system will help in terms of identifying the compliance violations. So as an auditor, we need to identify the where the compliance has not happened in terms of various transactions. So in such a way that it will help in terms of identifying the data sets where the particular employee has not performed the operations to get the compliance. So that compliance violations of the enterprises get in terms of set right, and we can take the preventive and corrective actions with the enterprise also. So I'm just presenting the certain use cases in the generative AI in the banking sector for understanding of all.
Automating the lending process is possible with generative AI. When used in a risk-controlled setting, it can give the ability to make effective, risk-based credit decisions. With the help of technology, banks have a rare chance to improve customer service and streamline their lending operations. 1. Marketing and lead generation. Chatbots powered by generative AI may communicate with potential customers and learn about their needs and preferences. Banks can utilize generative AI to generate tailored recommendations for lending products based on customer profiles. 2. Loan application. Moreover, generative AI-based chatbots can assist clients in completing forms and responding to queries as they move through the loan application process. Also, by having a discussion with customers in natural language, generative AI can be used in banking to confirm consumer data. 3. Credit analysis. Credit analysts can utilize generative AI to analyze consumer credit ratings and financial histories to determine a customer's creditworthiness. Additionally, it may assess data from a variety of sources to gauge the riskiness of a loan application. 4. Loan underwriting. A decision support tool for loan underwriters is generative AI. Customer data can be analyzed by the technology, which can then use its risk analysis to offer tailored suggestions. Automation of specific credit note parts is possible with generative AI. The executive summary, business description, and industry analysis are a few of them. 5. Loan servicing. The use of generative AI in banking can also assist borrowers with problems related to loan servicing. In particular, account management, billing questions, and payment reminders can be helped by generative AI. Based on their financial history, it can also tailor recommendations for debt payback.
So these are the use cases that we generally prefer in terms of the generative AI. So the present scenario, the AI platform that we talks about is a generative AI, is the real AI platform, or the any similar competitor of the generative AI. But the tools which is referred as AI need to have the intelligence in built. It should not be the rule-based system. If it is a rule-based system, it is not AI. So can you understand more in terms of what is AI and what is not AI? So if there is a rule-based software that is made in terms of getting the perfect result from the particular input data, we call as an equation or a formula. So when we prepare an Excel report, then H lookup, V lookup, that is called a rule-based system. But if anyone has used the flash function in the Excel, anyone has used flash function in the Excel, you can put it on the chat box. Yes. Yes, I'm seeing many yes. Great to hear. So that flash function uses the AI. It is not a formula. It identifies what you want to extract. And with that, for the all cells, he will perform the same function. Yes, some of the one question is that, yes, laser scrutiny can be done by the AI. So what we are doing in a repetitive performance, that can be done by the AI. But if the tools which is built with the intelligence, use of the intelligence from the data, then it is called AI tools. Otherwise, it's a tool, not AI tools. So that's why there are many tools are available, but they are not a AI. But for a marketing perspective, it is called as AI tools. Most of the chatbot, if I am referring to the chatbots, so most of the chatbots are not a AI chatbot. In the background, they have the question and answer. And that question answer, when you ask particular question, if it is in the listed in the that background database, it will provide that answer. So it's a rule-based chatbot. Yes, ChatGPT is AI because in background there is no question and answer. But we are talking about the chatbot. In website, we refer to the chat box, put it on the PAN number, then we will give you that information. That is called a rule-based. Input and output is linked in terms of getting the output. That is called a rule-based. But in case if we provide a certain input and going for some different output, that ChatGPT does. There is no fix that you provide a, let's say, X number and provide a Y number. They will provide Y plus or something else from that analysis. Yes, all competitors of the ChatGPT are the AI tools. Watson is AI tools. But I'm talking about the smaller that we are generally prefer as a in terms of tools, AI tools. It is not AI tools. RPA is also is a rule base. Everywhere when it is you are seeing as a rule base, it is not AI tools. Because input and output is in a formulation method. Let's say payroll processing. If it is built with the RPA, then it is a rule based. You have to input data and the output data you have to formulate in terms of calculations by the formula and you to get the output. So they are the automated tools. For automating the transaction, these are the tools we should implement. Then it's a AI we can input in terms of certain variables, not the all functions that we can implement, which are the important in terms of high risk and interpreting. We can put the AI model, train it in terms of very large volume of transaction to cover the various natural transactions and the different types of transaction. Then it comes to the output. Yes, when it is in the formula base, that if you put let's say 10 days of the particular employee salary, these are the salary tables, you calculate and give me the salary payable after all deduction, which is generally the RPA, robotic process automation. So they are the automation tool. They are not the AI tools. So we need to understand the first difference in terms of automating the transaction and the implementing the AI. AI we cannot implement in the all, might be 10 or 20% of the variables we can use the AI and which are important to us, and we can train the AI agent in terms of particular transactions. Might be if you want to see in terms of chat GPT also, that we are mostly talking on the chat GPT. In a nowadays, we use a chat GPT or a Bard or any Google. Then they have trained the model in terms of millions of data. In the text also, there are billions of data. Image, they have processed the millions of images. Then they are able to identify what will be the impact, what will be the outcome. With the text, they are generating the image. So I request all participants also to understand that difference, because it is not that all things are AI, but yes, we need to first focus on the automation. Then automation comes to the plugging or putting the AI model on the high risk variables. And then comes to the ultimate part of getting the output, which is a predictive analysis or a detection, fraud detection or preventive or the any other aspects in the auditing process. So I request audience to put it on the chat box that if you are using the RPA, which RPA you are using, robotic process automation, which type of RPA you are using in terms of salary processing or in terms of invoice processing, or in terms of creditor analysis, data analysis. These are the different aspects where RPA can be used. So RPAs are generally used. So today's topic is not RPA, so I am not talking much about on this. But under AI, for automating the transaction, the RPA comes. Then AI agent will use the data of the RPA process transaction. And from that, it will learn that how the transaction is going. Let's say invoice processing. So with the use of AI, if you are using the OCR or any other technology for invoice processing and recording the transaction, then AI with the use of other data can identify the errors in the invoice with the use of the train model in terms of various combinations also. At least on the case to case, it refers in terms of the volume of training also. But the different type of transaction, different geographic of transaction, different product also. With that, it will identify the various mistakes or errors in the invoice. And now, mostly we come across the digital invoices, which is generated by the system. So there is no manual invoices. And in such a days, in a digital invoices, RPA perform perfectly, and AI can also use the data without any error. So with the use of the ACR, we are automating the transaction, and then going forward for the AI, we need to implement in a different aspects. So I just request all to put it on the chat box, any questions you have on the AI, because now we are moving forward to the blockchain. Blockchain also is a part of AI, but for the particular aspects of the transactions and where there is a risk of data changes, the blockchain use of the blockchain is highest. So ML is a part of AI. For AI is a larger word. You can refer it as the larger word. And ML is a machine learning. So when you want to implement the AI in particular aspect or particular area, let's say any invoice processing, then you have to define a machine learning model. What the machine will learn. As a childhood, we ask children to learn in terms of a particular fashion, and also to learn that in terms of various transactions and various days also to make it mature. The same way machine learning model is implemented. So when it is started, it is a child. Then until a maturity, we need to train him and then make it in accuracy. We have generally referred to the in AI model that what is accuracy of that model. You can ask to any AI tool, if it is referred as a AI tool, you can ask them what is accuracy. So it should come into 90 to 95%, because all the present AI tools are in the beginning stage and not on the maturity stage. Over the period, that maturity will increase in terms of nearest to the 100. And that's why the machine learning helps in terms of learning, and the machine will learn in terms of real transactions. And the second question is on the aspect of use of the AI in auditing. So presently, the tools, AI tools are not available for a whole function of auditing. So yes, in reconciliation, it is available. In terms of data mapping, it is available. Or in terms of invoice processing is available. In terms of RPA, there are various RPA in terms of payment processing and other aspects of the HR also, payroll, and the aspects it is covered in the RPA also. But a whole AI in auditing, it's a very future. But yes, days will come, then we have the AI model for auditing. Then yes, OCR technology, most of the softwares are functioning on the OCR technology. So machine learning is just I explained, the machine will learn. So you have to first define in terms of the flow of transaction, then do the transaction in that machine learning model. So automatically the AI model will learn from that. The machine will learn from that real transaction. And generally in an AI language, technical language, it refers to the positive or negative. You have to define the result in terms of positive or negative. It is yes or no. Either you can define yes also, either you can no also, or yes and no both. That this is right or this is wrong. Or I can refer it that this is right. Rest are I don't know what is there. So by this method, it will learn in terms of what is the transaction. And that learning will be used in the future transaction. Prediction or a new transaction or a reporting, analysis, fraud detection, that this is the something else. If I give you some example on that if particular employee has done the fraud, and if we put it on the AI model, this employee has done the fraud in this fashion. So it is yes. Rest are no. So if any of the such transaction is coming to the nearest to that flow, that system will provide the preventive mechanism, red flag, and automatically identifies such transaction in terms of nearest to that. It is not exactly that, because it is not a rule base. Rule base is 100% has to be there, like a VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP. It should match. and accordingly it will help in terms of identifying the any other transactions surrounding the such scenario for preventive and detection of fraud. So coming to the blockchain, I just want to ask one question to the audience. What is a one word you refer in terms of blockchain? Can you put it on the chat box? What is the one word first comes to your mind in terms of blockchain? Ledger is a very good answer. Database. Yes, multiple copy of data, open ledger. So in the AI, we referred as the interpretation, prediction, and working on the data. So if the AI model works perfectly in terms of particular transaction, when the data is accurate, when data is perfect. So to make a data perfect, we need a blockchain. So blockchain refers to in terms of the storing of the data and recording the such data so nobody can tamper it and in a transparent manner. So once the data is increased, it will be saved in the one block. Every block will be linked and the chain will be created. And when chain increases, it will be blocked. So it's a blockchain. जो चेन है कि जिसको आगे बढ़ता है और ब्लॉक कर देते हैं, उसमें कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता है with the hash key. So might be all will be knowing. So I'm not technically going in terms of what is a hash or what is a hash key or not. And that block can be used in terms of different aspects of data. Any data we can save in the blockchain. But due to the large capacity of the bandwidth required for a storage of data in terms of blockchain, we need to identify the data variables which we need to consider in the blockchain and which is a more risky. Let's say any price contracts. We need to put it on the blockchain. Generally, what we refer is the Bitcoin. So one person has answered it's a Bitcoin. Yes, blockchain. Bitcoin is used the blockchain technology. And the ownership of the any Bitcoin is stored in the blockchain, which cannot be tampered. So it is called as the immutable. And it is a decentralized platform. So data in an exact manner is stored in the whole system at the different places. And all the players on the system will say, yes, it is correct. Then and then the next transaction or the processing of transaction will happen. So that's why it's a decentralization and the transparency. Any one storage or a one server cannot perform the transaction. So all participants to the system of the blockchain network has to verify the said and provide the accuracy. And ultimately, then the transaction will happen. So if you can share us any use case in your mind for the blockchain, put it in the chat box. Use case coming to your mind. Any in terms of there are now many use cases are coming in terms of present scenario and environment. We will take the major use cases in terms of coming slides also. So blockchain use cases in terms of digital asset management. You have any digital asset, then you can manage. If you have a physical asset, then you have to transfer it into a digital identity, then manage. That's in case of the land. Land is the physical. But if we create a land identification document and make it in the blockchain, then the ownership and the all forwarding transaction will be very secure. No one can change it and no one can delete also. Same way in a gold and same way Bitcoin uses so digital currency. So RBI rupee will also come in terms of blockchain technology. So any digital asset can be managed in terms of blockchain with the efficient decentralization and also without any changes on that. Next one is a smart contracts. So smart contracts refers to the processing the transaction in terms of commercial transaction with the blockchain. So all your contracts, let's say your vendor contracts or any employee contracts, any execution of the contracts, when certain transaction happens, then automatically that smart contracts will be implemented with the system, with the different variables, and the invoice will be processed. So this way the smart contracts are implemented with the different industry. It is very beginning stage of the smart contracts, but in case of currency, yes. Just a minute. In the currency, yes, there are many currency that we are hearing in terms of use the blockchain, but smart contracts is the next stage after currency, where contracts are entered, contracts are stored, contracts are signed off in the blockchain platform. So no one can change it. And when transaction happens in the any software, ERP or any external software, it can directly use this contract to raise an invoice or to give an effect to the transaction. So this way, the smart contract functions in the overall structure of the blockchain. There will be the multiple parties also, which say, yes, this is a perfect transaction, this is a perfect contract, might be government also, might be enterprise also, might be third party also. Multiple party contracts can be executed. And in accounting terminology, smart contracts will be the future, where there is a continuous contracts for the monitoring the or doing the transactions. Then comes to the opportunities in terms of supply chain finance. So blockchain in a supply chain finance, when comes to the trading in the world environment, and where there is a trust deficit in the different players or the transactions, then blockchain helps in terms of maintaining the records of the every transaction. So which are the parties of the supply chain finance? That's I brief you on that. So there is the physical contract, transaction parties of the buyer or seller, then banks, regulators, and the ultimate the blockchain data center. The processing, how it happens is a record the terms and condition of the transaction in terms of physical contract, then connect with the system, evaluate, and then execute the supply chain finance after confirming the data with the smart contracts. So with this, bank automatically can provide the supply chain finance. There is no requirement of submitting the physical transaction via email also. Physical or email, it's the same. When we submit the full transactions in terms of sending in the scan copy to the banks. But when the smart contracts are there, data is evaluated in terms of blockchain, that it is correct, it is not changed, then bank directly can finance on the supply chain. So this is the many global enterprise are working on this, and they are on the supply chain industry to finance the various transactions in the global trade. Yes, someone has told that yes, transfer of shares will be done future in the blockchain. But as the present need of the transfer of shares is not very much, because present the environment and the technologies are sufficient to address it. But yes, in future, it will come once the implementation cost of the blockchain will get reduced, because there is a heavy servers and the data needed for the implementing the blockchain. Next comes to the, again, the reducing the fraud. So when the blockchain is used, there are different data stored in the different block. So who has done the manipulation can be identified in an easy way. If it is editing of the transactions also, it is stored, and that can be identified in the very easy way. Further, who has done that transaction with the identifying the user and also checking with the another storage of the data with the network participant, that we can identify what is a fraud and what is not fraud. Because if in a one storage you find that the fifth transaction is changed, and if you on a second on the environment storage on the environment on the blockchain, if you refer that it is not changed, then you can easily identify the fraud in terms of changing the data or where the data has been changed. So it will help in reducing the fraud cases. The opportunity where we have the opportunity in terms of helping the enterprises or the government to implement the blockchain. Next is the electronic health record. So those are on the healthcare industry. Might be you have referred as the electronic health report, where we can record the all patient data. So presently the healthcare system works in terms of standalone, where every hospital maintains their health records in their whole system, and which is managed by might be private party. If it is big hospital, then their own software is there and it is hosted on their server. But the interoperability of the records when patient goes to the another hospital is not there. So many government has implemented, in terms of Rajasthan government has already implemented the blockchain for health records, and in going forward, Gujarat is also planning to implement the blockchain for the health records. Foreign countries are already on that project. So this is the big case in terms of implementing the blockchain for the health records, as it is a necessary for every human to maintain their health records. So from birth to that, everyone, if has the health record, then they are able to have the all the preventive and diagnostic activity in a perfect way. If you do, we go to the any doctor place, first they will ask that what is the your history in terms of diagnosis. So then we will refer to the that reports. Then it's accurate in terms of any doctors to diagnose the disease or provide the medicines for the curing. So this way, there are many use cases in the blockchain. These are the top use cases that in the present environment is that are going to be implemented, and in a certain industry they are already implemented. So I request the audience to now will come to the question and answer. We will take one by one on a question and answer. So yes, one question is any good example of the AI in the seminar photograph snapshot shared by, and yes, it's a good example. And with the image processing, that we generally get the photo from the seminar organizers, that organizers for the photographs of the hours from the all audience photographs. So it uses the photographs. Any questions that audience has, please put it on the chat box, or a question and answer. We will address on that.
So one question is how blockchain is useful in accounting and auditing.
So in a blockchain, if we refer again to the presentation, I will just go back on that. The blockchain is useful where we need to implement the blockchain. Accounting and auditing of the, let's say, any gold transactions. So auditing cannot implement. Yes, AI we can implement for auditing. But for a blockchain, we cannot, for our function as a auditor or accountant, we cannot implement the blockchain. But as an auditor, we need to understand that blockchain system, and we need to test whether it is where the blockchain can be implemented, and if it is implemented, then whether it is running perfectly or not. So only any Bitcoin transaction or any land transaction or a gold transaction, and comes to the smart contracts also, then we can refer to in terms of smart contracts are perfectly fitted in the blockchain. Then the whole transaction undertaken on the basis of the blockchain are the perfect, and there is no anomalies on that. We can go to the next question. Yes, blockchain refers to the triple accounting entry. That is also the accounting aspect. If we refer, then if we put accounting data in terms of what has been recorded in the corresponding party ledger, that is called a triple accounting entry. And furthermore, we can go for the accounting and auditing is more on the functional aspects of the blockchain. Next question is,
any case study on application of blockchain and AI in taxation aspects such as DT, IDT transfer, pricing, mergers and acquisition? So we could have a seminar on
yeah.
that.
So yes. So in terms of transfer pricing, presently for the analyzing the various industry participant in terms of TTNM pricing model or cost plus pricing model, the AI is being used for a predicting the transaction in terms of what will be the margin ratio in terms of planning stage. Then it comes to the documentation. The generative AI and the various data sets are in terms of available in the open market are used for the preparing the documentation and analyzing the transactions. And in terms of indirect tax, I just refer you in terms of two aspects of GST, specific on the GST. So on the taxpayer perspective, we have the in terms of compliance activities. So for accumulating the various transactions in terms of GSTR 1 or GSTR 3B, and identifying the classification issues or rate issues, in that the machine learning model will help in terms of that. And further in the future, AI will help in terms of classification of the transaction products or the services with the HSN code, or SEC code, and ultimately submitting to the GSTR 1 and the 3B. And presently, the department is using the data analytics for identifying the various anomalies in the compliances, shortcoming in the compliances. And from that, they are mapping the various data sets in terms of e-invoicing, e-way bills, GSTR 1, 2B, and the locations also. So you are using which location? Also, we have heard that FASTag is used. So IDT, in a great extent, they have used. Direct tax, they have used in terms of faceless processing. So faceless assessment and the generating the various notices. Presently, they are using the machine learning. So before that, they have implemented the data mining and data analysis. Then they are using the machine learning. And then it is coming to the notice. Then the faceless assessment aspect will be there. Merger and acquisition, it's presently, there are no use cases or there no application in terms of actual case of the merger acquisition. But yes, for identifying any target company, presently the AI tools are used in terms of entity or the player identification. Zero cloud-based accounting is there. So until that I know in terms of zero, they are not using the AI capabilities. So they are automated the transaction, but not AI capabilities they have implemented. So yes, that I previously briefed that there is a difference between AI and automation.
So any AI tool that we can use for GST reconciliation?
GST reconciliation, sir, presently I have not come across any AI tools for the GST reconciliation, but most of the reconciliation are on the rule base. So rule-based tools are presently fair enough in terms of transactions, but going forward, yes, for the larger enterprise, they need to use the AI-based tools for the reconciliation. But as transactions are very, very, very in a dynamic fashion, that AI tools might be not much more effective than 90%. More than 90%, the accuracy will not come from any AI tools, because it's a very dynamic in terms of we refer to the ITC reconciliations.
I guess all questions are answered.
Yes, might be if anyone is left, just let us know. Yes, so just one question is that we need to first automate our CEO offices. Then we can go for the AI. So with the use of the RPA, OCR, or any tools, forget about what they refer in terms of AI tools or not. But if it is benefiting in terms of our process, day-to-day process, then it will help us in terms of streamlining our processes, and further also with the changes of our staff also, our service quality and the service levels will not change. So with that, might be I have addressed all questions now.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such an enlightening session that has expanded our horizons. Your insights were truly invaluable and came at just the right time. Your explanations were clear and insightful, making complex topics understandable. We are grateful to everyone who joined this webinar and contributed to making it a fruitful session. Your participation has enriched our discussion and learning experience. Once again, thank you all, and we look forward to more insightful sessions in the future. Thank you.
Yes, Gupta sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we would like to present a certificate to our speaker and you also.
Yeah.
This is for our guest speaker. Kindly sir accept it.
Thank you. Accepted.
कोई सीगर बनना है उसका बनने का बंदी भगवान आप कुछ अभी टाइम
Sir, this is for your Gupta ji. Kindly accept it, sir.
Thank you, sir. Accepted.
Thanks from my side, sir.
Thank you.